Good morning. Good morning. I am out and about. I have a different studio here this morning. I am on a mission this morning to get things done. We have stopped at our local Dunkin' Donut this morning. So we have our coffee. I'm not even sure if I checked in at the right time. I hope it's not too dark. I'm trying to get into different positions here. Waiting for a few people. Hey, that works with the coffee in there. Good morning, Alexander, the encourager. Good morning, good morning. I am in on location at Dunkin' Donut this morning. Getting things done, out and about this morning. Making sure that I get this motivational on and kicking right now. I'm so excited. Thanks for watching. So I hope everyone has their coffee. We got some late people coming in this morning. Normally, I guess they got used to the 7:30 last week and or the week before. I will be moving around. It's fall, so I will be moving around a lot this fall, getting things done here in Florida. Getting some airflow through here. Here in Florida this season, I will be out and about on certain Mondays, and but the inspiration and the encouragement has to go on. Good morning, Pastor. Good morning. Thanks for joining Simply Marita's Coffee this morning. I will say that it is still beautiful here in sunny Florida. There's a lot of transitioning going on in my life here, and I'm loving every single minute of it. A lot of changes. Let's see, football season started with the son. We're very excited. His highlights are on Huddle. Let's see. Husband is doing good. He is now in college. He is at the university, actually at the college. He's at the state college here, finishing his bachelor's and moving forward on that. So proud of him on that. As far as my other kids, they're doing well. They're around the world right now. Internationally, they're doing fine. The grandson is doing fine. He's trying to walk and run. And that leads me into this morning's motivation. And that is that's like why, my why, your why, our why. Why do we have a why? I was just listening to someone's interview this morning on the radio, and she was talking about the same thing that I have been saying for years and years, over and over, to my coachees and to my mentees, that in order for your why to happen, you have to understand two things, the most important two things about your why. And why do I want to be who I am? Why do I want to do what I do? Why do I need to do this? That's one of the questions. I had a person ask me last week, why do you inspire? Why do you want to encourage women? Like, that's what you say you do. Why do you choose to do that? Well, I come back and I say, I choose to do that because people did that for me. But not only do people do that for me, I get such a blessing out of encouraging and motivating and inspiring women around the world. I also do that with the youth, and I also inspire men and motivate men as well. It is a humanistic, just all of that type of humanism that brings out why I do what I do. Now, once you figure out why you want to do what you do, how do you do it? And it's two things. You have to believe in who you are and why you want to do it. So, for instance, me choosing to motivate and encourage and speak to women, on a daily basis as a business as well as a community outreach, because I do both, to those that can't be with me on a, program, or can't afford the program or can't afford the sessions. I do my community outreach as well. But the reason why I do that is because, again, it's inspiration for myself. It's inspiration for them to be able to go out in the world and make a difference. So my why for what I do for inspiration through my products and my books is, and she asked me this, and I kind of gave her a little elevator speech, but I want to talk about that this morning because there's two main things. The number one thing I just said is your belief in yourself and what that is that you are providing as a service or as a product. It can't be because someone else did it. It can't be because someone did it, I can do it. It can't be, well, it's just there for me to do. You got to have a reason why. You have to have a reason why. I adore being a woman. I adore being a woman. I adore that God bless me with every bit of what I have to share with the multitudes. I adore that. I adore the fact that I took the time out in my life to educate myself, to better myself, to be able to articulate, to be able to do the things that I can do for my own children, my husband, as well as the multitudes. In speaking with this woman over a couple of days last week over the phone, I gathered from her that back in the day, our parents, and I want to use a different generation because she's a little bit older than me, but back then it was get a job, go out into the workforce and make a living and take care of your family. Like that was it. I mean, no one was talking about life coaches and go out and get a coach, go out and get a brand. No one was thinking that they could have a logo and a meaning behind it, such as Coca-Cola and Nike. No one thought of that. Back then, it was more like just those like weird inventors, you know, that were in their garages or somewhere in a lab that could consider having something and being somebody that was like not thought of or heard of. You would just to go graduate from high school, go get a job and make it happen. But now we have this thing called entrepreneurship that I have been in for 24 years of my life. I have been an entrepreneur. It just seemed like out of 48 years of my life, half of that has been entrepreneurship. It has been to service others. It has been to create products for others. And with that, I like women to know that, because what happens is this didn't happen overnight. This did not happen overnight. Simply Marita did not happen overnight. What happened was that I believed in what was going on with myself. I believed in my products. I believed in my services, and I believed in such a way that God has just led me down a path to be able to do the things that I do. And grateful I am to it. So with that being said, I hope that that kind of gives people some type of emotional tie. I like that word. Emotional tie into why do I want to do this? Why do I need to do this? Having a background of something leads us into why we want to do what we do. A lot of things happened to me when I was younger that I didn't get an explanation of. So it led me into a lot of research. It led me into a lot of wondering, pondering, and really figuring out through my studies, through Bible studying, through Bible school for 2 years, and graduating, through all of that, to understand that God has that serious plan for us, and that oftentimes the plan consists of other plans. So what I mean by that is there is always our footsteps being ordered by God, but on those footsteps, there are things that are planted that we must pick up and grow with. There are things that are planted beside us on this path that we have to stop and pick up and use for our own good. But then there's also those weeds. There's also those weeds that we have to take out, that we have to ponder our way through and make that discernment of who should be in our lives and who shouldn't be in our lives. And I will tell you, on this journey, it has been awesome. It has been awesome. But I will tell you, it doesn't come overnight. That overnight success may not last. It may not be exactly what you want it to be. I often just say what you feel and what you're doing now and how you produce it could very well be your why. What you're doing now and how you use it and what you produce with it could be your very well why I am who I am and why I want to go out and be productive and save the world. You know, sometimes we look at Wonder Woman and Superman and we say, oh, I'm going to go put my cape on and do what I have to do. I will say this. I've never been a cape girl, right? Put on a cape and fly. But I have been that girl that would put on a pair of high heels and run. I do believe in, you know, your level of expectations. And I think I quoted this last week, but your level of expectation is your level of how high